Hey, this is Rach BB, and you're listening to the Backlog Gamers podcast.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Backlog Gamers podcast. I'm your co-host, HaloTitan, joined by my good friends here, Fable Trek, Unchained Saga, and right over here, our Rage PB. How is everyone doing today?
I'm psyched. I'm pumped out of my gourd. Video games. Let's go. How are you guys?
Doing fantastic. Today we're going to be doing. We're kind of revisiting the sci-fi conversation we had on a few episodes ago, but this time we're going to be covering more of the sci-fi and less of the space stuff. But before we hop into that, how you guys been? What y'all been up to? What you been doing? What you been playing?
Not been playing any games around here. Just been too busy.
We know.
Sorry. Just been too busy. I have a lot of friends just crying because I'm not there to play with them. Although I did play Gears last week.
I think that was about a month ago. Hate to break it to you.
Doesn't love us anymore.
It was a week ago.
I think it was a month ago.
At the time of this recording, I have a book coming out tomorrow. Okay, so I've been busy. All right.
Let's go.
Excuses.
Love it. Which one's this one?
It's the horror retelling of Hercules, Scorned.
Scorned. Let's go. I love it. Freaking
Nice.
Twisted retelling of Hercules, which is super fun. So.
Very lovely.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I know it's been like a month since you played Gears with me though, because I dove headfirst into Expedition 33 and I haven't come back up for air until yesterday when I finally beat the main story. And it was phenomenal and it was beautiful and I cried a little bit and then I found a boss named Simon and then I cried a lot because Simon's very mean to me and I can't beat him. Great game, y'all should go check it out.
He's a bully.
That's been my life. Yeah.
I cried a lot.
Legit, I steamrolled every other boss in that game by the end because I like max leveled. I didn't even think. I one hit everything. And then I met Simon. And now I want to kill anyone named Simon. If you're named Simon and you watching this, why? Why did you do this to me? Stop it. Get me help because of you. I don't like this. Guy's a bully,
name
dude.
Is Simon. Let us know in the comments below.
Or don't.
Give me your address.
Maybe you should.
or don't.
Or don't. Very sad.
Goodness. All right. I'm still on Act 1 of Expedition 33, so I don't...
Oh, you're in for like 45, 50 more hours at least.
Wow.
Is that how long this game is?
You're a quitter. Like
Fable's like, I guess I won't be playing it then.
I am not a quitter. I have been.
There is an impressive amount of life in this game.
Actually,
have you even
lower the
met
difficulty,
Simon?
though.
Have you even met Simon? Yeah, you difficulty lower.
You
could do that.
Or can you meet him before you do the final act?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Tell me where he is.
No. You get to experience that hell naturally. It's a fresh-born hell for you, little lady. Nice try. Nuh-uh.
Well, I've also been playing a little bit of Expedition 33 and Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and I think we had one session of Dead Island 2 this last week, which was always
did.
No way.
So much fun. Oh yeah.
Look at you guys go.
Getting close to beating that game, having so much fun with it. I'm excited.
Very fun. I got to flirt with the creepy body collector lady. That was cool. She said, "Give me your meat," and I did. I got the quest 3 times.
That's true. He was putting all his meat in her
in her bucket. Yeah.
He put
it up a quarter of
the. We're a family-friendly podcast.
And she was using his meat to make artwork. So
recreationally, yeah. What else do you do with meat?
It was all consensual.
Yeah. Well.
Should we just hop into this week's theme?
God, yes, please.
When should your children be allowed to play games?
That was the last episode, so be sure to check
your
that
children
out.
Be allowed to put the meat in the bucket? That's a great question, Cody. Titan.
My word. We're gonna have to up the rate here. This is no longer.
that.
These are no longer kid-friendly episodes.
I just want to say what I said. It's not, hey, I'm talking entirely about a very natural, wholesome zombie killing
all
game. If you took it out of
innuendo.
context, that's on you.
It just sounds like innuendo. That's all.
It just sounds like
So, sci-fi.
innuendo?
We're headed back to the world of sci-fi because sci-fi is such a huge genre.
Mhm.
The last time we did a lot of discussion about sci-fi, but the space portion of it, games like Starfield and Mass Effect, where you can actually travel around space to different planets, where space travel tends to be a part of the gameplay, or games like Dead Space, where you're kind of stuck on that ship there in space. And Rage, are you going to control videos for me today? Just to
yeah, they were acting a little bit
Okay.
wonky about it.
Well, that's okay.
Little bit
They'll
squirrely.
come out okay in the end. So this time, I kind of wanted to cover the other side of sci-fi because
Mhm.
there are games that we play that are sci-fi, but not necessarily in the realm of space where you're traveling to a bunch of different planets and doing this and that. And I just kind of wanted to talk about some of those games. What stands out with a good sci-fi game that doesn't have like space travel?
Yeah,
what
the first
sticks
one
out
that
to
comes
you?
to mind is Planet of Eyes. Oh wait a minute, hang on. No, no.
Is that
That's
new game from the Shadow
that's-
Colossus people?
no.
What are you talking about?
It was an awesome little platformer
Oh,
that
we already did a platform.
HaloTitan hated, and it wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty fun and colorful
What
and
was it called?
interesting.
Planet
It was
of
okay. It was
Planet
it
of
was
Eyes.
pretty plain. It might as well have been
It's like
called Plane
balls?
of Eyes. Is what it might as well have been called. No.
Let's go look some
Okay,
adorable.
but how about unmechanical? Can I use that one? Is
Yeah.
that sci-fi?
Yeah,
Is that
I
sci-fi?
think that's a sci-fi one. Yeah,
It's like it's almost like a little steampunk
Yeah.
sci-fi
Oh, he's the dude with
Uh,
the big dome.
game. Yeah, he's a. Speaking
Yeah.
of buckets, he's basically like a bucket robot. And
You think he's got
he
meat in his
floats
bucket?
around and oh gosh,
Unmechanical wasn't a bad one. I remember we played that one as part of our
I thought
achievement
that one
hunt.
was fun, man.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad one. I put
Yeah.
Mechanical on there.
I'm getting the vibe, people, that you only
Yeah.
play platformers when you have the freedom to do so.
Yeah, Rage
It
brought
is
up
kind of my go-to.
Mechanical.
Oh,
there.
dude, look at that
uh,
guy. He's totally got meat in his bucket.
This actually looks really fun.
See,
Yeah, it wasn't
I've
bad.
never seen
Yeah,
this before.
it's actually really quite. It's very cute.
That's
It's
cute.
all a little puzzly and fun.
See, this kind of reminds me
Platformer.
of like Stray, which is another, I would say, sci-fi game.
That's a
It's
very
set in
sci-fi game, yeah.
Yeah,
I would know. I haven't played that one.
Oh man, what?
The Stray has a cat, right?
Stray.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
That's the cat one.
immediate turnoff.
no way.
The-
It
The
was.
protagonist, you're a cat.
But it's like
like
a
a-
futuristic cat, right? And
Yeah.
the futuristic
Well, yeah.
cat.
So it's
He's
set
like
in
a
This
a
guy has a
world.
cat.
backpack. Very futuristic.
Yeah, where basically humans have died out, and so this
The cat's
cat
age.
is living
Up.
up above, and it falls. It gets separated from its other little
Mhm,
cat
mhm.
friends, which is so sad. But then it ends up in this world with these robots, and you're trying to find your way out. And of course, there's little like
Ooh,
the
it
virus
definitely-
thingies that
Love it.
Whoa,
will
sounds
eat you,
bad.
but you meet all of these really cool
Look at the
like,
robots.
robots, and you get to talk with them, and you have all these challenges. It was such a fun game. And you can sleep. There's actually an achievement if you sleep for like 2 hours or an hour or something as the cat. So you can just lay down as the cat and go to sleep, and then it pans out into this like panoramic like view of the world, and it was
I'm so playing
cool.
this.
So I would just put it on that and then just like go do stuff.
You know a game's a real highlight when the highlight of the game is you
Look.
sleeping. That's a much better game, man.
I mean, look at it. Like,
I mean,
It does look
It does look very cool.
beautiful.
Look,
It
we're going to
was
be covering
a beautiful game.
fantasy at some point. We're going to be covering fantasy, and I don't know that I've ever played a fantasy.
Yeah, so see, this cat just
Sleeping
like lays
wasn't an
down and goes
option.
to sleep.
Right.
Wow, riveting.
Oh my gosh.
You know what would have made this game better if he was like a weird lizard dude?
Or if you had like,
You mean like a
laser
weird
eyes.
lizard dude from Star Wars with laser
and
eyes?
And
That'd
you
be
know,
game.
you like, I don't want to give spoilers, but you've got like companions and like people that you hang out. It was really fun. Anyways,
How does he
Fable,
use the
I
backpack?
think you would really enjoy it.
That looks right up my alley. I would
And
love that.
honestly, it was so quick and easy to play. It was 6 hours.
That's my
So
jam.
it was one of those
Those are
games
my
where you
jams.
just
He's
kinda-
like,
yeah.
Claire Obscure Expedition 33, 45 hours?
Or Stray,
6
6
hours?
hours.
You got it.
That's my guy.
Yes.
Wow.
It was so fun.
Oh.
I do highly recommend checking it out. It was a very unique concept of a game that I myself have not like played or really seen a lot of. And I
Yeah.
mean, how many games do you get to run around as a cat and get an achievement for meowing 100 times? That one.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's
Really-
You guys are losing.
Really selling me
You're
on
losing
that,
them.
man.
I'd play it.
All right,
You can
I'd
sleep,
play
you
it for
can
the
meow.
achievements. I'd go get the
let's
1,000
talk
gamer score.
about like a bigger, more epic.
Okay,
game.
let me
guys
broach
want
this
something.
topic
I was
seriously.
thinking of
Okay.
Horizon Zero Dawn. Anybody played that?
Wait, is that the new one? I played both. I have played. Very cool.
I haven't played it, but that one feels like it's like a sci-fi fantasy. It's kind of a little
Yeah,
of both,
it's almost
isn't
a
it?
sci fantasy, right?
Yeah.
It's so specifically the narrative of the game is futuristic humanity falls into apocalypse because killer robots decide to be killer robots. So it's very much in the sci-fi realm. It just has fantasy colorings, but
Yeah.
As sci-fi
very
and
cool
fantasy
game.
are so similar to each other in just almost everything, really.
I mean,
Well, that's why they made Split
Fiction.
Fiction.
Well,
But
yeah.
instead of place of magic and whatever, it's very much this is just post iRobot, but the robots look like dogs. So
And
Aren't
dinosaurs.
they? I thought they were
Right,
dinosaurs.
right.
Yeah.
there's a dog in there somewhere. I don't know. Can he be a cat?
I'm like, is
for the
this
best? I
right?
don't
Because
know.
this looks like a fantasy game and not a
It
sci-fi.
just it has the colorings of it. So it's basically it's like the back to the Dark Ages, right? Humans built all these big cool robots, which we'll probably see here in a second. And then one of the robots basically went full Skynet and said, "Okay, I don't like you humans, die." And then they went back to like cavemen tribal territory. This is like the year 3000 or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it has
they got-
fantasy trappings, but it's very much just a sci-fi game. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're very
it's-
right for bringing it up.
Yeah,
But
very
yeah, it's not a space game. It's
kind
it's
of
definitely
kind of a bit of both. I like it.
sci-tech.
You know what kind of really stands out to me with a sci-fi that's not space focused is like the complete opposite direction for us on Earth is, beneath the sea, with BioShock.
Hmm.
It's
Oh, yeah.
kind of like that penultimate
Sci-fi
sci-fi game,
steampunk.
Too
sci-fi
bad Rage will never play
steampunk.
it. 'Cause it's too scary.
There was the first one it can be kind of scary.
So good though.
Oh,
but it's
actually, on that
so
note,
good.
yeah, Rage, you should check out what was the fourth one they did? Or third, BioShock.
Okay, here's the deal.
Infinite. Very much not as spooky, very lighthearted, but still
Yeah, brighter.
I don't like.
BioShock.
I don't love
Not
jump
lighthearted,
scares. Like, I'm not like a big jump scare person. And I will say BioShock doesn't have a ton of jump scares, but I'm like in this section right now, and this is where I stopped because I'm in this section and there's like all this like I don't know steam fog something. I can't see anything, and I know there's somebody in there.
Turn up
And I
the
can
brightness.
hear
man.
that person.
This
I cannot
game,
find them.
this
Sound
game
like
taught
the
Fable to never trust the
Monsters, whatever
corpse.
they're called.
No,
Yeah.
this game wasn't the one. Dead Space taught me never to trust the corpse.
So what works
Also,
so well
don't-
with BioShock though? I mean, because the game is, for me, it's iconic. I feel like it's one of those games that really just stood out for me as far as sci-fi goes, with the unique story of a billionaire building this underwater city for all the best scientific and creative minds to kind of go to, but it's just not ran very well because the government's just not. There's no government. People can do whatever they want, and it just people start taking drugs, and there winds up being a lot of poverty, and just kind of becomes this hellscape where you got these little sisters running around and big daddies all being created to kind of
See,
harvest
that's
the Eve or whatever the atom from
Yeah.
the people, and it's
Ooh.
it's the story itself is so good. I feel like this is for me. BioShock is the kind of sci-fi game where the scope isn't space big, you're traveling to different planets and stuff, because those can tell a good story as well. But the story in this one just seemed a lot more focused and linear to me, which I think is a lot of fun in a sci-fi game. And it was a lot of cool moments in this one. This one in particular didn't have it didn't have any cutscenes. It's all from your first person perspective.
Right.
There.
Yeah. I think, I mean, it made me think of, while we were just watching that video of this, it made me just think of, I know this seems random, but Titanfall 2.
Oh, yeah.
Titanfall was a really, really cool sci-fi kind of military thriller at the same time.
Yes.
Game where you weren't traveling space, going from planet to planet or whatever. You were just in that one area. And I remember playing Titanfall and the bonding with these like giant titans that you're running with, right? Mm-hmm. And it was such an interesting and unique experience, especially playing through the campaign of Titanfall 2.
Oh yeah, and if your mech goes down, you can jump out and fight as your little human self, and then call another one down to jump in. It was a lot of fun as far as from a PvP perspective. Was a lot of fun, but Titanfall 2 was great because it had its own story as well.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
One of the few stories that made me care about a robot, like genuinely, like, oh my gosh, this is my robot. I won't spoil the story for you guys at all, but phenomenal story. Unfortunately, got buried by its own failure on the PvP front. If I'm not mistaken, the terrible what's the word I'm looking for? The really messed up multiplayer was kind of what buried any hope of Titanfall 3. Actually, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you saw the news. Titan. It was recently confirmed that Titanfall 3 was being made and then got shut down. Actually, for like the 4th time in a row. So yeah, great series. I truly love it.
Crazy.
Technically, this does fit the space thing because you do go to different planets.
It would be cool if they could reimagine this. Well, I mean, sure, yeah. Some of these sci-fi games, you're on different planets, but there's no real like space travel or.
Right.
I mean, space is kind of inevitable in most sci-fi stories, I think.
The final frontier.
But not necessarily all of them. And obviously, I think another good one that we haven't talked about would be Halo. I mean, that for me was like the sci-fi game that got me into first-person shooters, really.
Halo's classic. Halo's great, but we've talked about Halo. You know what we haven't talked about that's coming out soon?
He just completely disregarded.
Because Halo's great. We all know. We all love Halo. Halo's a classic. The big. I'm Chief Cortana. No,
Gears of War would fit into that, right?
No. Yeah, Gears of War would be a sci-fi. I think.
Doom. I skipped over Titan. Don't you dare skip over me. Me. Doom Dark Ages is coming out in like 4 days, probably around the time
you post this video, actually.
No, what? What?
Is that what's about to take up all of your time, Saga? Now that you finished Expedition 33?
I don't know. I didn't finish Eternal, but do you guys have any Doom experience here? I never played the originals, but Doom 2016 had a chokehold on me. Doom Eternal kind of went back to like its arcadey, lighter, fast-paced roots. I couldn't get in on it, but this game, I get it. It's back in like dark fantasy times. It's a sci-fi game. Don't fight me if we can. Look, it looks phenomenal. It looks super great. They got mechs. They got dragons that you can ride now. I'm just so stoked for this.
The reviews coming out
combat.
Definitely looking good for Doom. Yes, and I do have experience with Doom. I remember playing. I never finished it, but I did play some of Doom 3, and those ones felt scarier to me. But I was also younger, so.
And the art style back then was iconic. It was very dark and moody and gory.
But and that's a cool thing that I thought they did with Doom Eternal, where you could kind of walk into the original art style for the very first game. With all the pixels
with the little secret rooms and stuff.
Yeah, the secret rooms that looked like that were just kind of crazy. But the thing I love about the new Dooms, it is just nonstop action. It's honestly the Doom 2016 was the fastest I've ever seen an opening of a game to combat. It was so fast. You literally just wake up and start whooping butt right away.
Off and you're like, great game, love it.
And the music.
Does Doom have a PvP? Because I feel like there was this one game, Cody, that we used to play.
You're thinking of Quake, probably?
Doom had PvP in 2016. but
Where
we
you'd
never.
like go.
I know
and you'd,
Eternal
like,
did.
spawn, and then you'd like I don't.
We used to play Turok.
That's literally every game. I'm over here going. You go and you spawn, and that's every game ever.
Yeah,
It had Quake.
Nailed it.
yeah, we used to play Turok. Rage. That's what you're thinking of. We used to
What?
play
How
Turok
do you
2.
spell that?
Turok.
Turok.
Yep. And
Is
there's
that
a new one coming out, isn't there?
A new Turok, probably.
I
Yeah,
thought
It's been in
so.
development for a
I've always,
while. Yeah.
they've had a lot of failed projects over the years. Turok 2 was a blast, so we did play a lot of PvP on the N64.
Is that was no? This wasn't. This was just recently. Like within the past 10 years.
Yeah, look at those graphics. That's definitely post 2015 for sure.
Yeah,
And
we
the
never
remaster too. Yeah,
yeah.
Fully
This game
remastered.
originally came out 5 years ago for sure.
I mean, the past 10 years, no, we have never played Doom PvP. But Doom
I
does.
Yeah,
have a
Eternals
PvP.
had a PvP. Thankfully, they're ditching it. They're going back full single player for Dark Ages because
That's
no one
good.
played their PvP.
I
Yeah.
think it's great. It's not look, I'm just gonna say it. Bungie was at their prime where they did Halo 2, and Halo 3. So they were able to really put a lot into the single player campaign or co-op campaign, as well as having a
Mhm.
functional and popular and fun to play PvP. Whereas I think a lot of games, like Bioshock 2, for example, Bioshock 2, they tried to put a PvP in it, and it was just
Oh,
not
did they
fun.
really?
Yeah,
Oh.
the PvP for it was not good.
The problem is multiplayer is where the money's at nowadays, right? You push
Well-
your subscriptions, you push your battle passes, and now
Yeah.
all the greedy guys get richer. But most games,
Yeah.
especially narrative ones, can't pull it off.
Yep. And this was, I mean, that was
You know-
that was pre what we're in now. Nowadays, like my own son, like it's hard to get him to play a single player game with me or a co-op game because he likes to pee. He wants to shoot me in the face.
Yeah.
So it's or battle me with rocket cars in Rocket League. He doesn't really get into. He'll get into some co-op and single player games, but there's not many. He likes that experience of.
Well, I mean, look, everybody likes their own, the kinds of games that they like, right? That's why Rage goes, oh, Fable Tracker would love Stray. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like my jam, right? But then, like, think about other games that are just like straight narrative driven, like Become Human. That's a sci-fi game, right? Or you could
Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But that's the thing. I mean, there's all sorts of different sci-fi games in basically every style of game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, I
Detroit
feel like
Become
we
Human
talked
is a really
about-
good one because Detroit Become Human kind of has that. It's that the narrative that it's really focused on the choices you make through the narrative that really impact like the outcome of the story. It's one of the it's like Mass Effect but better in a way because Mass Effect, all the choices you
Because
made
Mass Effect is really mediocre and
had it. Don't even. We're not even. I secretly hate you.
It's okay.
But it did. Mass Effect
I
3 was
openly
a
hate
big letdown for people who beat the game before they put the patch out that kind of ties up all the loose ends. You basically spent 3 games making all these choices to get to the end, and then it was like, oh, okay, no matter what you did during the game, here's option A, B, or C, or blue, red, blue, green, were your options to choose at the end. So it's like the story's ending had nothing to do with everything you did leading up to that point. Detroit Become Human is different, whereas something you do in the first act of the game can impact the outcome at the end. And there's so many different branching trees in that dialogue and the way you can play the game. Detroit Become Human's a great one, especially if you like kind of controlling where the story goes and making these tough decisions. So Detroit Become Human is a good sci-fi one that you brought up there.
Yeah.
Zach.
Question for you, because I haven't actually played Detroit. Is there gameplay, or is it kind of like a Telltale game where it's all story and the only interaction you get is like picking like what narrative choice you're making?
It's not.
I've always meant to check it out. I just
It's not
haven't gotten around to it.
gameplay like traditionally that you're thinking like where you're running through rooms and shooting this and that, but you do. There is combat in it. There are quick time
Okay.
events. I'm trying to think if there were quick time events. A lot of investigation, like it's like a detective type stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's very narrative driven though. regardless. But yeah, you can walk around and do stuff though.
Yeah, it's just not quite full Telltale.
Yeah, and then you have other games like that are narrative driven like that, but you can like play them co-op, like Planet of the Apes: Last Frontier, where somebody can play all of the ape parts and somebody can play all the human parts, and all the choices you guys make as the apes or as the humans pushes the story towards an outcome and I think there was like 8 different outcomes or something that you could end up with, all varying with how somebody plays the apes and how somebody plays the humans. And that's another wonderful sci-fi game, another wonderful sci-fi franchise. The Planet of the Apes is just fantastic, but I remember having so much fun with that game. And it's narrative driven as well, but it gets a little more complex when you get to play with somebody else, which is fun.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I did that one co-op.
It's always so impressive when when a game that lets you make choices actually has impactful choices, right? Like I think about like Fallout, where it's like every dialogue tree you have is like, you talk to this person, you always get the like in the upper corner where it's like, oh, Barnaby will remember that, wink, and you're like, and then like half the time it doesn't pay off at all, and you're like, what's the point of all this talking, Barnaby?
And then Barnaby didn't remember anything.
Barnaby didn't remember any of it. Barnaby has short-term memory loss. I don't know. But yeah, it's really impressive when a game can actually pull it off and make it feel weighty. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that because I've been playing Outer Worlds. I always mix up Outer Worlds.
Outer Wilds is the better one, but you wrote them Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds, and I was in a town stealing stuff, and people are yelling at me, and then I keep kind of doing it to see how far. You can't get very far away with it, by the way, if you keep pushing it.
Oh, that attitude.
And so it's always fun because then it docks me points, right, with the townspeople. Mm-hmm. It's like you're not building that trusting relationship with them. But it's interesting because we talked a little bit earlier and we kind of skipped over was PvP games. And I think of one that's a sci-fi game that's multiplayer, and that's Overwatch.
Yeah.
It's a sci-fi game.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
yeah, it is his favorite game, and that's a sci-fi game.
Ever.
And I think that's an interesting one that you can play. That as everyone has their characters, right? That they love. I'm a Mercy girl. I love Mercy.
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. You know what I will say about
hero shooters? There are a lot of hero shooters that kind of run the sci-fi route. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense for them because having different characters with different technical abilities.
Yeah, I think it definitely opens the door up for a lot more creativity with that.
Here's what I will say about Overwatch is the missed potential that Blizzard has with almost any game they ever make to make a killer animated series or movie out of. Like, have you guys seen like the cinematics that they put out for this game? Like about the lore and all that?
It's ridiculous.
Phenomenal.
They're
well
so
crafted.
good.
I never played an Overwatch game a day in my life. And I'm like, who's this Hanzo guy? Show me more of him. Who's this pink girl or purple with the sniper and the butt? I don't know. Tell me more. And then they don't. And then like, oh, here's the gameplay. You just kill each other. I'm like, I thought they were on a team. Like, shit, don't worry about that. I'm like, I wish they'd give me like the story. Instead they gave me this really trashy PvP game where it's like, oh, I'm just going to lose to the same grouchy,
is it
20-year-old that never left his parents' basement. The game is trashy, the players are trashy, but when the game is all the players, it's a trashy game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's fair.
I would love, and here's the thing: Overwatch 2 promised a campaign.
Yeah.
I would have played that. I would have played that.
We were
Blizzard would have had my money. Yeah, and then they don't. Why? Because they know they can continue making money selling the newest skin of this other girl with her butt out, and you're just like, oh, those trashy people. You can't even see the skin anyway. It's a first-person game.
Backtracking on things and desperately trying to get people to keep playing it.
Rivals showed up.
They brought loot boxes back because I mean I think before Rage PB and Unchained Saga joined the show, you and I were having conversations like I was complaining about the loot boxes. It's like,
yeah,
I'll pay for a costume. I'll give you $10 for a costume. they finally give us that, but now they're charging $25 for a costume. I'm like, I'm not paying $25 for it. An online outfit, it's ridiculous.
So
They tried to
instead, you could get
overcharge
a fake. Here's a surprise box.
Yeah.
Which, garbage. And then
I would
half
just-
the time you open those surprise boxes, and it's something you already had.
Yeah.
And they would just give you 10 coins for it, and you're like,
Yeah.
It's all predatory money making schemes.
It's
terrible.
Really dirty on the way they did that, because it's like I actually would have given $10 for an outfit, for a cool outfit. But then they were just like, no, we're going to charge you $25. I'm like, $25 for a digital costume? I mean, that's ridiculous, man. It actually made me miss loot boxes, and now they've brought loot boxes back. I'm like, at least I could get something.
X-Men skin? But it took me playing Marvel Rivals to figure this out, as it probably did most people to realize that Overwatch is a trash game. Is that you can't even see the skins that you buy, and Marvel Rivals rolls up, and it's like it's an actual quality game with well thought out characters that they mostly ripped off of Overwatch. They give them that again. Overwatch's strong points are its characters. Build into that, maybe. Anyway, Marvel Rivals shows up, and you can actually see the skins that you pay money for, but also it's not predatory, and it's just a fun game. And I wish we would go play it more, because they just released Ultron.
I don't. No, I
I'll
disagree with you.
I'll play it with you, bud.
Don't get
Are you kidding me?
Don't break my heart.
I would get in and play Marvel Rivals and just people one shot kill you, and you're
not even possible.
Cool. I just spawned, and they put you in these lobbies with people who are so outranking you. It's not even fun.
Rage.
And that was my problem with Overwatch.
Your name is Rage, and all I gotta say is get good. But
We don't have the time to get good. That's the problem. Is I feel like I have to log so many matches to even start getting put in. I don't know, with people who are comparable to me. I don't know. It was just listen, I don't have.
All the games suffer from Smurfs, right? Where people get really good, and then they create a new character so they could go down and play with the weaklings. I don't know that there's really truly any way to battle that.
Just acknowledge that it's a game.
It's just a game, and it's like when I was a teenager, I played so much Halo 2. I won a Halo 2 tournament on when I was in the Air Force. My ex-wife, the base she was at, they were having a Halo 2 tournament, so she signed me up for it. I went in there and I crushed everybody, but I had easily 1,000 hours of Halo 2 at that point, I played the crap out of Halo 2 for years. I was really good at it. And that's what happens is you got to play those games a lot to get good at them. And it gets to the point where we're getting older, and I play. There's so many games out there I want to play. I don't have the time to dedicate to one game to get so good at that, but they can be fun. And trying to stay on topic with the sci-fi here is that a lot of those PvP games tend to be in this sci-fi realm. Would you count Fortnite as a sci-fi game?
No. You know what is a sci-fi game, though, to put us hard back on track? Prey. Have you guys ever played Prey? Phenomenal game. Arcane Austin. Dude, I love this game so heavily. And here's a part of games that so few studios even try is the immersive sim part of the game. The fact that I can walk around, and they added the cool ability to be a mimic. I see a little coffee cup. I can be a coffee cup. And you know what coffee cups do? They fit in between doors. Try that with a coffee cup. Anyway, really cool game. I love the atmosphere, the vibe, the little goopy black tendrils. Goopy black tendrils are a go-to for all sci-fi games. I think we know this to be true. Yeah, when they got shut down because Redfall and freaking Microsoft sucks.
I think it was Arcane Texas or
Austin. Arcane Austin.
I'm just
it's such a cool game, such a good.
It really is a good game. The story was pretty wild. The combat was fun. I streamed the entirety of this game.
There's that coffee cup,
and it was a lot of fun. This one's very sci-fi for sure. This one definitely kind of fits that, and it's a really fun sci-fi game that I think was overlooked by a lot of people. I think it's underrated in my opinion. Because it was pretty good. Did you ever play the original Prey?
Was there one before this?
Oh, yeah. One with Native American. Took place on Earth, I think, and kind of in space. They got invaded by aliens.
by Human Head Studios.
Yeah,
Interesting.
really.
I've not even heard of this.
I love that game. Enrico Suave and I played a lot of the multiplayer on that one.
Very interesting.
Very interesting story. Yeah, I fell in love with it. So when this one came out, this was technically like supposed to be Prey 2, but it was so many years between them that they just named this one Prey. And this
so this
really
is a
good.
direct sequel. Interesting.
I don't believe it's a direct sequel. No.
Okay.
It's been a while since I played it.
It
But
just
I
made me
do wanna-
think of Perfect Dark.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is that the one with the
Perfect
jetpack?
Perfect Dark is so good. I don't think she's got a jetpack.
Oh, what
that's
am I thinking of?
That's Jetpack.
It's Joanna Dark.
Oh, thanks.
I want to backtrack a
that's not what I'm thinking
second.
about at all.
Unchained Saga just
was I
completely
thinking about?
threw aside what I said. You guys said Fortnite is not considered sci-fi.
I think Fortnite's considered to be a garbage heap of whatever people
I
think
think
will make
it's
money
a-
off of it.
Yeah, it's a clone shooter, is what it is.
I mean, it's set in technically, if you want to get technical with it, it's set in like a multiversal realm. That seems pretty spacey to me, I guess, but like, I don't
I
know.
guess it's
When Gerald from The Witcher can Fortnite emote dance on Vader, you kind of lose all sense of respect for him.
Did you call him Gerald?
What did I say? Geralt, my bad. I think I
You
did
call
call
him-
him
I'm
Geralt.
pretty sure you called him
Geralt of Rivia, dude. That's the Wish version. That's my.
I've been seeing that they I've never played Fortnite a day in my life, not once.
You're better for
But I
it.
keep
I never.
seeing, that they released this you guys know who Sabrina Carpenter is? She's a singer.
Mhm.
They released this skin and people are just wandering around dancing. And so all my TikTok page was like grown men, I'm assuming, a lot of grown men
it always
walking
is.
around to Sabrina Carpenter just doing coordinated dances. And so this feels pretty sci-fi as in what the heck is happening to our world.
I
But
think the technology and the weird stuff that happens in those games at Fortnite, I would say is kind of. I mean, you fight like zombies and stuff, and you can build forts, and
That's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
back in
So
the
I was
day.
just gonna say, you remember Fable when it first came out? That's what it was. It was just
Dude, we built some cool things.
we built some cool forts. We doing all the it's save the world now. But I remember maybe a month after it was released, they pushed out what Fortnite is now, the big PvP.
And they
Thing,
pretty
and
much forgot about everything
And
else.
forgot about everything else. The story stuff was gone. We were so excited for Fortnite for so long, and then it completely changed into this battle royale that is. So what we were excited for was just no longer in existence. It was wild.
Not to get back to sci-fi. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about one of the biggest games that's come out this year that is sci-fi and fantasy, which is Split Fiction. And
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sci-fi.
That one's half
platformer.
sci-fi.
Yeah, half sci-fi, half
Oh, it
fantasy.
counts, man.
I like the sci-fi part where I was a hot dog getting cooked on a griddle.
Oh my
It's
Yeah,
god.
that was the fantasy part.
That was in the
Good
fantasy.
sci-fi.
That was in the fantasy world.
Like when I ate myself.
But
This one
I
is a
remember
pretty good sci-fi one.
I played as Neo, who is the sci-fi character.
Right.
And
as
Saga
did I.
played as Zoe. And I remember Neo, there was this one sci-fi section where I turned into all these little spiders. And I
Yeah,
bring
wasn't
out
that so
spiders.
cool?
Yes, and I could
That's so cool.
go into vents and parachute. And I remember Saga was so jealous because Zoe had the worst everything.
I was also
But,
Neo, and I can attest that HaloTitan
Yeah.
was jealous of
Jealous.
every level.
And there was that whole
Yeah.
section on the motorcycle where,
Oh, so cool.
one's driving and Zoe's sitting in the back trying to do the phone thing, which Saga and I never did get the achievement for that because he just quit.
You
on me.
kept crashing. You kept crashing
No,
every time. I don't
no.
want to bring up another woman can't drive moment, but you kept.
We sat there and tried to get that achievement for 30 minutes, and I didn't crash a single time. You
That's
just couldn't
such a
get the-
lie. That's such a
Oh,
lie.
okay.
That's such a lie. Pull up the footage.
Okay.
There's no footage. Anyway,
But some
know-
of these sections in the sci-fi
did like the
part of
space
the game, they were hard.
Yeah,
some
they
of
were
the sections were
super fun. This game was just
a
a blast. Yeah,
It was
from
very
beginning to end, just super
pure
fun.
joy, dude.
I do think the fantasy part.
And yeah, it was all quintessential sci-fi with the Neon City and stuff.
So
But
cool.
I think of that Neon City, and I think of Cyberpunk, which
Right,
I still
was
haven't.
thinking
I
the same
haven't
thing.
not been able to play yet. Has anyone
no?
played
I've played Cyberpunk through.
Yeah,
Thankfully, they have fixed it. It's so good now, actually, and the freedom that game gives you is truly cool. It's like GTA, but if it was actually good. Is that Fable? You might actually really enjoy this because it's not just this like random disconnected tale of like you go drugs and it's actually very human story, and it's really enjoyable. And they fixed a lot of the bugs and stuff. It's actually very playable now. But I'm gonna take it a step further down that road that you started.
132 hours.
I only played like 30 actually. I'm gonna take it a step further down the road you brought us down, Titan. Deus Ex. Have you guys played Deus Ex?
On my backlog.
That game was like the predecessor to Cyberpunk 2077 for me because it was just such. Man, you want to talk Cyberpunk? You want to talk nitty gritty? You want to talk about like ripping open your skin and doing all these like implants and cybernetics, and then you go and you just jack a bunch of dudes up. That game was phenomenal. I'm sad that they didn't make another one. I honestly don't remember why it tanked.
There's one that you haven't mentioned that I'm shocked you haven't mentioned.
Thank you for bringing that up. I can't believe none of you bring that up.
Warframe 1999.
No. No one cares about. First off, that's 23 years ago. No one cares about 1999. Listen, what we need to talk about is Halo Spartan Assault. Halo Spartan Assault. Now that game, that was a sci-fi game right there because top-down shooting. Now I was mostly just trying to rib on Titan because I cut him off about Halo earlier. Warframe is really cool. I mean, you take the word space ninja and you just got something really cool and special there. I really like that game. I can't keep up with it though. They drop content like no one's business. I can't keep up with it.
So we did talk a lot about sci-fi games and stuff on this episode. We're getting to a point where we have to close it down, but you know, we didn't really talk about like
Ratchet and Clank. We didn't talk about
games. Technically, there's a lot of space travel in those games, though.
Yeah,
so.
we could really do a deep dive on sci-fi games out there. This kind of turned more into what good sci-fi games are out there. What have we played? Which I love. We didn't really talk about what makes them good, but I think just honestly the sci-fi elements. And I think for one, sci-fi in anything makes the game interesting to me, just because I love a sci-fi setting. But we did get to talk about a lot of them out there that I hadn't really thought about in a while. So that was
even if we didn't necessarily follow the model and hit all the thoughts, it's funny because we just like started ripping about all these different sci-fi games that we love, and
didn't even get to really go into Halo because I thought Halo would fit in perfectly with this conversation.
First off, you're space traveling, everyone. Second off, I brought it up. Halo Spartan Assault. You got this top down. You're controlling little military type. Who cares about Master Chief? He's overrated. You got this top down, cool little alien. You got
it's just trolling at this
and
point.
And then you go and it's almost like Halo Wars, but for the average man. And then you get to go around and be like, oh, John, get him. And he's like,
you're just trolling now, dude.
Oh, no, completely. Halo's a phenomenal series. You just bring it up. I love Halo. Halo 5 is the best Halo. We all know it.
Oh, mess.
I would say the thing that makes, for me, a good sci-fi game is the ability to just get completely immersed in the world. And that's what I want. I want to care about the world and the characters. And I want to, like, and Expedition 33 is not a sci-fi game, but it is so enthralling, and those are the type of games I love where I just get so completely immersed in it that I forget to eat. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Take a break.
She hasn't showered since last Saturday. Oh, goodness.
I don't even know what time it is. I don't even know what day it is. I'm out of work.
Day 33.
I don't even know if I have a job anymore.
But those are the type of games, and there's so many good ones out there that it's so hard to narrow them down, because I think what makes a good sci-fi game is completely dependent on the person playing the game. Mm. What do you like? What do you enjoy about a sci-fi game? And what makes you want to go back and keep playing it? Is it the characters? Is it the world? Is it shooting robots in the head? are you a cat running around and meowing at people?
Well, what's that one game? Hold on. Gun.
Well, I think sci-fi is a good one that, I mean, maybe we could tackle again in a later episode because there's just so much to talk about with sci-fi.
Gun.
I don't know what Unchained Saga is doing,
Name.
but if you guys
He's talking to himself.
if you guys are enjoying the sci-fi conversation, let us know what you guys would like us to cover in maybe a future episode where we might re-tackle some more sci-fi themes.
Let us know your favorite sci-fi game.
Yeah, what is your favorite sci-fi game? Because we have lots. I do think we should start wrapping it up here, though. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Backlog Gamers podcast, and be sure to follow us on YouTube. Is it at Gamers Backlog on YouTube as well?
You got it.
And we're also on Twitter or X at Gamers Backlog, TikTok, Instagram. Am I missing anything, guys?
No, that's
all right.
No, I keep muting and unmuting Josh. They're having a full-on conversation with themselves.
I don't even know what he's doing. It's like he forgot he was filming an episode. So be sure to follow us on the socials at Gamers Backlog. It's Backlog Gamers backwards. And I wanted to throw it to my cohorts here for your guys' plugs.
Yeah, sure. So if you guys are interested, like we mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I've been so busy lately that I've barely gotten to play games because my new twisted retelling of Hercules book is coming out tomorrow as of the recording. So actually, I guess that's May 13th. Yeah, there you go. So if you're watching this after May 13th, which you will be, check out Scorned if you are interested in a little bit of a twisty, creepy tale.
If you like sci-fi, Scorned might be a different genre for you. That's good. Check it out.
Rage PvP, are we still just finding you on the at Gamers Backlog links?
Yep. Sure enough. Don't find me.
Unchained Saga, where can our
you can find me on the streets of Night City or on the F-Zero tracks whose names I don't remember at all. That's all. That's all you can find me. Nowhere else. Yeah.
All right.
F-Zero, great game.
You guys can find me on Twitter at HaloTitan. You can also find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/HaloTitan, and I'm at HaloTitan on YouTube as well. So check me out on all those areas. And of course, right here at the Backlog Gamers podcast. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.